So one of the things that comes up quite often is how to mount your GoPro action camera to your car for filming. And there's no doubt there are many opinions out there, and many people have their own opinions about what works best and what doesn't. However, from the videos I've seen online, even from some of the more well-known YouTubers, there's been some pretty misleading information, or the information they've been giving lacks certain details, such as why certain mounts are better than others, and when you should be using certain mounts, and most importantly, why you should use these mounts instead of others. Now, maybe this is due to lack of knowledge, time constraints, or maybe these YouTube personalities are actually being sponsored to push the sales of certain mounts. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I mount cameras to my car, why I use these particular mounts and not others, and all without being influenced by sponsors or companies wanting me to push the sales of their mounts. This is about giving you practical sponsor-free information so you can make your own choices. So, this is DemonView, and we're talking about car mounts for your GoPro or action cameras. Hi there, thanks for watching this video, and hopefully it's going to help you out with some information regarding mounting cameras to your car. If you're watching this channel for the first time, please note that this is not a sponsored channel. I'm not being paid by vendors or companies to push their sales of their products, so you're getting just honest advice based upon years of experience of shooting with action cameras and DSLRs, and even point and shoot, dare I say. So, if you want honest information based upon practical experience, then do me a favor, click those like and subscribe buttons. They really do help out with channel views and make sure that people like you get practical, honest advice to help you out with your filming. It doesn't cost you anything, it only takes a few seconds. So go ahead, click like and subscribe. So on with the video. What type of mounts do I use when filming with my GoPro cameras? Well, I tend to use a variety of mounts, but where I'm shooting, what I'm shooting, and even what time of year I'm shooting all dictate which type of mounts that I use. For instance, shooting with a 360-degree camera means that I use a different mounting system than shooting with a non-360-degree camera. So first of all, we're going to start with my favorite type of mount, and that's the magnetic mount. Now, there's a reason I primarily use these magnetic mounts, and that's because of their reliability. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, or beating down hot sunshine outside, magnetic mounts are going to stick to your vehicle and not let go. Now, that does depend on the type of magnetic mount you use, and some are better than others. What you want to avoid are the type of mounts that have those like clothing mounts. They're kind of circular, they have a metal plate that sits under your clothes and the magnet sits on top of them. And these tend to use much weaker magnets as they don't want to run the risk of stretching or ripping your clothing. And while this may seem to work well on vehicles, the minute you start moving, they're likely to start like sliding down and even fall off your vehicle. So what you want is a good, strong, rare earth magnetic base with a rubber coating on it to protect your paint job. And this is why I use this specific type of mount. So you can see it there. And if that's got like a thread there for your camera on top, it's got rare earth magnets in the base. And the nice thing about this is not only can you use it with a standard camera, you can also screw on a GoPro mount. And this is one of the ones that I actually use on my car. And not only these rubber mounts have multiple rare earth magnets in the base, the rubber coating also adds a layer of protection. The extra advantage is not only do these bases have a nice aluminum GoPro mount on them, this is also removable and has a standard camera screw on the mount. So you can use this with a variety of cameras, and these things have quite the sticking power, and you really do have to tug to get them off. Now, as you can see, this may not leave a lot of room for adjusting the camera. I mean, you can point it back, you can point it forward, so that's why I usually combine them with one of these, and this is an aluminum ball joint. So this means I can stick it to the side of my car, tilt it forward, tilt it back. You know, I can even turn the whole thing around if I just need a facing rear view or if I want a film portrait. So when I combine these two together, I can really adjust my camera to get any angle that I want to capture the angle I need. I can shoot in landscape or portrait modes, like I said, and this thing is just rock solid. Also, when mounted to the side of the vehicle, it doesn't come out past the wing mirrors, and that may be important based upon your local road laws, as many state laws actually state that objects attached to your car cannot extend past that point. Now, these magnetic mounts, like I said, it has a camera thread in the bottom, so I can actually screw in the Insta360 handle, and this still stays rock steady in the car. Now, if I need more clearance from the body of the car, I actually use aluminum alloy extension arms. And let me just show you those. So, here's the aluminum alloy extension arms, and you can see that these give me a lot of clearance between the actual car and the camera, and that's for, you know, no stitching errors. I mean, that's how I get these really cool 360 shots with my camera when filming. However, you have to keep in mind physics. The further out your selfie pole is extended, the more force is going to be put on the base of this magnet. So at around this height, I don't have a problem with this mount sticking to the car. However, if I were to extend the selfie stick fully, then yeah, the magnetic mount could easily fall off the car, and that's due to leverage. It would just push back and fall over. So that's why I use the aluminum alloy extension arms, and to basically give me a double magnetic base. So I've got, as you can see, 2 magnets there, and this thing literally gives me double the strength or gripping power. So now I can get a much taller viewpoint without having to worry about the mount coming loose, because I'm going to have this magnet pulling on the car, and this is steady. You know, you can't actually tip back as such. So, I mean, this is actually one of the better kind of mounts that I managed to clobber together using the magnetic bases and the aluminum alloy extension arms. And you can pretty much configure these any way that you want or suits your needs. So why don't I use suction mounts? Well, I do. I just don't use them on the outside of my vehicle, or any type of vehicle for that matter. The thing about suction mounts is that while they seem secure and they seem like they have a good grip, changes in temperature, dirty surfaces, uneven surfaces, these can result in your suction cup mount failing. I mean, I can't tell you how many videos I've seen where people have used a suction cup mount on their car or vehicle, and only for the mounts to fail and fall off. And thankfully, in some cases, they put a tether on the mounts, so their camera wasn't destroyed. But I think my cameras are a bit too expensive to have, you know, to even risk having a suction cup fail on me. However, if I'm filming inside my car, then yes, I will use suction cups. There isn't going to be any wind resistance pressing against the camera trying to pull that suction cup loose. And if I'm driving through like a deep puddle of mud, well, the temperature on the inside of the car is going to remain constant, so the suction cups are less likely to fail inside of the car. So just in case you missed that little bit, is that it's something that's not really covered in the other videos who use suction cups, is that if you're, you know, out in the woods or whatever, and you're driving along with a suction cup mounted on your car, you drive through like a puddle or a lake, that's going to change the temperature like pretty quickly, even like, you know, 20 degrees of a change, and that can just make your suction cup fall off like that. So that's why I don't use suction cups on the outside of a vehicle. So what are my favorite suction cups though? Okay, so number 1, the GoPro Suction Cup. I mean, there's just no denying it. The GoPro Suction Cup is one of the best suction cups I've ever used, and believe me, I've used quite a few in my time. I actually have 2 GoPro Suction Cups. One of them I actually bought from my GoPro Hero 2 when it was a brand new release, and I'm still using that suction cup. That's how good it is. Whereas I've probably gone through about like 3 or 4 knockoff suction cups that failed, broke apart, or were just really of poor quality. So yeah, I've no problem recommending the GoPro Suction Cup. It's well made, the rubber is nice and soft, and therefore it provides excellent grip when combined with this gooseneck mount. And when you use the gooseneck mount, I mean, you can really, you know, move it around to get any camera angle that you want. So that's absolutely fantastic for me. That's one of the prime suction cups that I actually use on the inside of the vehicle. Now, if I'm after a fixed camera angle, something that just gives like a side view or a wide view without the need for much adjustment, then I will use a triple suction cup mount. And this is more of a B-roll mount since it's not very adjustable. Usually when I'm mounting it, I'm not looking for that much adjustment. I'm just looking for a pickup shot or two. So I use this triple suction cup mount. I just stick it on the window, and as you can see, I can like tilt the camera pretty much back and forth, but that's about it unless I put a ball joint on this. But this is great for just like quickly sticking to the window and getting some B-roll shots. And then finally, if I want to mount something much heavier, like a DSLR or something, and I still want to be able to adjust my camera angles, then I'm going to use this triple suction cup mount. And check this lad out. This thing is like heavy duty. And the great thing about this mount is that the legs are fully movable. So you can actually, you know, just stick it to a side window like that, or you can stick it to your side window and have a leg sticking on your front window, or vice versa. And this, you know, has got movable legs. It's fully adjustable. It's got a ball joint in the top and a camera thread on the top of it. Now, this thing is really heavy duty. It's excellent for handling heavier loads, and technically you could use it for small light cameras such as a GoPro, but honestly, it's a bit of overkill for that really. Like I said, this is for DSLR shots when I'm filming in low light, or if I need to use a variety of lenses or filters, I'll slap the DSLR on that, and that's the mount that I use. And that mount handles the weight. I mean, with the 3 large legs at the bottom, you can mount this, like I said, on the front and side windows at the same times to give you more options for filming. So, I mean, that's just a really good heavy-duty mount. Now, there is one more type of mount that I've used in the past, and I rarely use it now, and that is the screw clamp mount. And as you can see, I've put a GoPro camera mount on top of this. Otherwise, it's got the normal type of camera thread there. But this actually has a clamp on it that you can screw in and out, and you can actually have some little rubber there to protect things. And this is used for attaching your camera to non-metallic parts of your car where a magnetic mount wouldn't work. So if I wanted to attach a camera to a spoiler, a wind deflector, or the front grille, then I could use this. However, it's very rare that I still use it because just of the amount of options that are available to me when I use a magnetic mount. And you need to be careful if you attach those to your car, because if you over tighten that, trying to, you know, make it secure in your car, you could actually break the part you're attaching it to, because that thing will just keep screwing until something breaks. So mostly I actually use this mount for attaching the camera to my house when I'm filming a night lapse. I'll stick this under the eave of the house and then screw it tight. And what I'll actually do is I'll probably put a gooseneck on this then to adjust the angle a bit better so I can get a good night lapse. So that's a list of mounts that I tend to use the most, and I find they work really, really well. And I am open to using other mounts, of course, but I really do like to test out the mounts and make sure they're safe, secure, and practical to use. So hopefully you found some useful information in this video, and it's given you some insight into, you know, what type of mounts you should be looking at for your vehicle and why you should be using them. Now, if you use other type of mounts, let me know what you use and how you use them. I'll take a look at them, give you my opinion, and maybe I'll actually purchase one and do a review of it here. In the meantime, if you liked this video and found it helpful, then please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons, as it really does help the channel and my ability to make more videos and keep you informed. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, cheerio.